A goldfish falls out of its bowl and immediately panics. It flops around on the wooden floor, trying to get back into its home. But its owner isn't around to help. And so the fish starts swimming upstream to look for her. Meanwhile, in the next room, the owner is getting ready for work. She opens her closet and accidentally knocks over a sweater. The fish sees this movement and thinks it's its owner. So it swims towards the closet, jumps up onto the sweater, and flops around on it for a bit. But when it realizes that it's just a sweater, it makes its way to the next room. The fish then leaps up onto a chair where it sees its reflection in a mirror and mistakes it for another fish. The two fish are soon engaged in a heated argument. One of them says, "Hey, get out of here. You don't belong here." And the other one replies, "What are you talking about? This is my house." They continue to argue back and forth until the real owner walks in and sees what's going on. She gets scared when she sees a fish arguing with its own reflection and tries to grab it before it can escape. But the fish is too quick for her and it darts away. As the owner is looking all around for the fish decides to take a nap under the TV. After sleeping for a while, the fish hears some noises and sees its own reflection again. It says hello to its reflection, and the reflection says hello back. The fish tells its reflection that they need to get out of there because their owner is looking for them and might catch them if she sees them. The two fish decide to run off together. They make their way to the kitchen and see a big bowl of water on the counter. But just as they're about to jump in, the owner walks in. The fish hides behind the curtain rod while the reflection jumps into the bowl of water. The owner fills the bowl up completely, not knowing that there's a fish in there. She takes the bowl to the sink and starts washing it. The fish watches from behind the curtain rod as its reflection is washed around in the sink. It looks like the reflection is gonna escape. The fish thinks quickly and jumps into the sink just in time to stop its reflection from escaping. The two fish struggle for a bit, but the real fish manages to push the reflection back into the bowl. The owner hears some splashing and looks into the bowl to see what's going on. She doesn't see anything though and just assumes that it was a bug or something. She puts the lid on the bowl and places it back on the counter. The fish lets out a sigh of relief. It takes a moment to realize what just happened, and then it congratulates itself for being smarter than its reflection. The fish then notices that there's a small gap between the lid and the counter. It squeezes through the opening and escapes. The fish then makes its way to the living room and jumps up onto the couch. As it is flopping around on the couch trying to figure out where it's gonna go next, the owner walks in. She sees the fish on the couch and immediately freaks out. The fish darts off and heads towards the window. The owner follows close behind. The fish jumps up onto the windowsill and gazes out the window for a moment. It looks like it's thinking about jumping out. The owner gets scared and reaches for the fish, but the fish is too fast for her and it slips out of her grasp. It jumps down to the ground outside. The owner looks down and sees the fish swimming around in her flower bed. She feels bad for the fish and tries to scoop it up, but it's too slippery. The fish darts away and hides under a bush. The owner gives up after a while and goes back inside. She closes the door behind her and locks it. The fish peeks out from under the bush and looks around. It seems like it's all alone now. The fish starts swimming towards the house. Maybe it wants to go back inside. As the fish is approaching the house, the owner walks out the front door. She sees the fish and gets really excited. She thinks that maybe if she acts natural, the fish will come closer. So she casually strolls over to the bush where it's hiding and tries to peek under it. The fish sees her coming and makes a run for it. The owner immediately starts chasing after it. The two are playing a game of cat and mouse for a bit, but eventually the owner catches the fish. She scoops it up and runs back inside. She sets the fish on the table and starts rummaging through some drawers. She's looking for something. Finally, she finds what she wants and grabs a net. Then she carefully picks up the bowl and puts it on top of the net. She pours the water from the bowl into the net and scoops up the fish. She takes the fish to its bowl and gently drops it in. The fish is happy to be home. After a few minutes, the owner comes back to check on the fish. It's swimming around in its bowl, but it looks kind of sad. The owner feels bad for the fish. She knows that she probably wouldn't be able to keep it happy if she left it alone all day. And since she has to go to work, she calls her husband and asks him to watch the fish while she's gone. He agrees and tells her that he'll be right over. When her husband arrives, the owner shows him how to take care of the fish. Then she leaves to go to work. The fish watches from its bowl as the owner packs up her things and heads out the door. The husband looks down at the fish and smiles. He knows that he's gonna have fun playing with it while the owner's gone. As soon as the owner leaves, the fish starts swimming frantically around its bowl. The husband watches and laughs. He's never seen a fish act like this before. He thinks it's hilarious. The fish jumps up onto the rim of the bowl and starts staring at the husband. The husband holds his hand out, and the fish immediately jumps into his hand. He's surprised by how well it worked. The fish looks at him curiously. The husband talks to the fish for a while, just making conversation. He doesn't know that the fish can understand him, though. After a while, the fish jumps back into the bowl and starts swimming around. The husband sits down next to the bowl and watches the fish for a while. He's mesmerized by how beautiful it is. He's never really been a fan of fish before, but this one's different. The husband gets up and goes to the kitchen. He grabs a bag of fish food and comes back to the bowl. He dumps some food in and then watches as the fish eats it all up. The fish seems to really enjoy the food. The husband is happy that he was able to make the fish happy. The husband starts to get bored after a while and goes to the TV to turn it on. The fish sees the movement and gets scared. It starts swimming frantically around the bowl, but the husband just laughs. He thinks it's funny. The fish jumps up onto the rim of the bowl and stares at the husband. The husband reaches out and picks the fish up. It looks like he's gonna put it back into its bowl, but instead he takes it with him to the bathroom. The fish is scared, but also curious about what's going on. The husband puts the fish on the sink and turns on the water. He then dips his finger into the water and flicks some towards the fish. The fish immediately jumps back. The husband laughs. He's having way too much fun with this fish. The fish is starting to get angry. It's had enough of the husband's games. It jumps up onto the counter and makes a run for it. The husband gets up and chases after it. The two are playing a game of cat and mouse around the bathroom for a bit, but eventually the husband catches the fish. He picks it up and puts it back into its bowl. The fish is done playing. It starts swimming around slowly and eventually stops to stare at the husband. The husband stares back for a moment, but then breaks the silence. He apologizes to the fish for playing with it so much and promises to let it rest. The fish seems to understand what he's saying and nods its head. The husband smiles and pats the bowl before leaving to go back to watching TV. The fish swims around for a bit, but then jumps up onto the rim of the bowl and falls asleep.